Purpose of this video is to demonstrate for my students how to complete lesson 3.5 in our student assignments Carnegie books. This activity can be found on pages 33 and 34. Now, the question or the directions that go along with this activity are: each year your school puts on a show to showcase student talent. This year the talent show includes 36 acts as shown in the table. Now, we know that there are 36 acts because the directions tell us so, and you could add these all up if you wished. 9 plus 10 would be 19, plus 8 would be 27, plus 4 would be 31, plus 5 would be 36. 10 of the acts are singing, 9 of the acts are dancing, 8 of the acts are playing an instrument, 4 of the acts are lip syncing, and 5 of the acts fall under the category of other. Now, the first part that we have to worry about is identifying what portion of the show is each act. Now, this is going to be a fraction because not one single act constitutes the whole show. We'll have each act fall under the category of a fraction. Now, I'm at home making this video, and you can probably hear my little girls in the background, and you can probably eventually hear their pet rooster in the distance crowing. But they're all trying to be as quiet as they can while I do this video. Now, my denominator is going to be 36. And the reason my denominator is going to be 36 is the denominator, by definition, is all possible parts. All the possible parts. And there are 36 acts, and so that's going to be our denominator. Now, all we have to do is identify our numerator. And our numerator will be the number of each particular act. In this case, singing, well, that would be 10 over 36. Dancing, since there are 9 of those acts, it would be 9/36. Playing an instrument, there are 8 of those, so it would be 8/36. And lip syncing, since there are 4 of those, that would be 4/36. And other will be 5/36. Now, this next column wants us to identify the greatest common factor of both the numerator and the denominator. Now, one of the fluency standards for 6th grade students, fluency math standards, is being able to identify a greatest common factor very quickly just by looking at two numbers that are less than 100 in this case. They should be able to identify the greatest common factor. Now, in this case where we have 10 and 36, our greatest common factor would be 2. The reason I know this is the only factors that 10 have are 1, 2, 5, and 10. There are a lot more factors than that for 36, but the only one that 36 and 10 share would be 1 and 2. And since we're looking at the greatest common factor, I'm not going to list 1, I'm going to list the 2. Now in this one, where I have 9 and 36, I know that 9 is a factor of 36. I know 36 is a multiple of 9. I know that 9 will go into itself 1 time. 9 will go into 36 4 times. So 9 is the greatest common factor of both 9 and 36. With 8, the greatest common factor of these two numbers will be 4. I know this because the factors of 8 are 1, 2, 4, and 8. The factors of 36, there's several of them, but the only ones that they share, that 36 shares with 8 would be 1 and 2 and 4. And the greatest factor among those would be 4. And here we have 4 and 36. I know 4 is a factor of 36, and 36 is a multiple of 4. I know that 4 will go into itself 1 time, and it will go into 36 9 times. So 4 would be the greatest common factor for 4 and 36. Now with 5 and 36, the only factor they have in common is 1. That is the greatest common factor for these two numbers, so we know these two numbers are already in simplest form. Now, when it comes to simplified portion of the show, all I have to do is divide the numerator and denominator by whatever the greatest common factor is for each fraction. In this case, the greatest common factor of 10 and 36 is 2. And so I know if I divide 10 by 2, I'm going to have 5. Now if I divide 36 by 2, I'll have 18. I already reduced this one down orally just a moment ago, so 9 will go into 9 once, and review, 9 will go into 36 4 times. Here, 4 will go into 8 twice, 4 will go into 36 9 times, 4 will go into 4 1 time, and 4 will go into 36 9 times. And then, since 1 is the greatest common factor of 5 over 36, I can simply write down 5 over 36. Now, that essentially completed everything that we needed to do for page 33. Now, this activity that I've done has simply just been for demonstration purposes. When I get over to page 34, there's some explanations that are involved, such as this one. Explain how being able to write equivalent fractions can help you to order fractions. Use complete sentences in your answer. Well, just by looking at this portion here, where we have the same denominator in all of our cases, it makes it very easy to order these fractions from least to greatest because of the fact that they all have the same denominator. All you have to do is just list the smallest numerator up to the largest numerator. In this case, this would be the smallest. This would be the second to smallest. This would fall right in the middle. This one would be second to largest, and this one would actually be the largest fraction. Now, if all I had to go by were these fractions here, 5/18, 1/4, 2/9, 1/9, and 5 over 36, it would probably be to my benefit to try to come up with equivalent fractions so that they all had the same denominator, 36, and order them that way. Since I have these fractions here all with the same denominator that serve as a good example for how easy that makes ordering fractions, I'll just leave it at that. Now, that's all I have to say about lesson 3.5. I hope that it helped clarify a few things, for instance, such as determining the portion of a fractional amount of a whole, finding the greatest common factor and how that assists in simplifying fractions, and the benefit of equivalent fractions, or in this case, fractions that all have the same denominator. This fraction is equivalent to this one, and this one to this one, and if we didn't already have this list with like denominators, it would have been to our benefit to come up with equivalent fractions so that we could have ordered them from least to greatest with more ease.